Hi there, Chris again. After watching the video about the quality criteria of assessments and the videos about constructing multiple choice questions and open-ended questions, you are now set to construct valid, reliable and transparent assessments for individual students. As mentioned before, reliable instruments to measure individual performance are of huge importance as the assessment results impact the future careers of our students. However, nowadays employers are not only looking for employees with specific individual knowledge and skills, the ability to cooperate effectively is also widely regarded as an essential skill in the workplace. Basically, employers want to know, are you a team player? Therefore, teachers organize all sorts of group work and group activities to prepare students for their future roles as team players. This is a very valid way of assessment, isn't it? But also, returning back to van der Vleuten's utility formula, group work decreases the workload, the costs for teachers, since you probably grade less group assignments than if it was an individual assignment. But if a teacher wants to assess group work, a whole bunch of uncertainties and challenges appear. Is it fair to give a group score to an individual student? As van der Vleuten states, will students accept this? And what about the validity and reliability of the assessment? And how to deal with free riders? Motivated students can get demotivated if they feel that their own grades depend on students who don't do their share. With this video, I would like to provide you with some handholds to organize, facilitate and assess group work in a valid, reliable and transparent way. The most important piece of advice I can give you is that in group work, you should not only assess the product, so the work the group produces, but also the process, meaning how students worked together. The product can be assessed using a clear grading rubric. But what are the assessment criteria to assess the process of the group work? Well, you might think of criteria such as the generation of a wide range of ideas, a fair distribution of work, the ability to resolve differences, effective communication, etc. Since teachers don't always have a clear view on the group dynamics, tools as team evaluation, peer evaluation and self-evaluation can be very helpful. And you also might find it very helpful to engage students in writing the assessment criteria themselves. This way, they decide about the acceptable group norms and behavior, and you will create a sense of fairness and shared responsibility. Another way to create a greater sense of fairness is to add an individual component to the group project. For example, a short individual essay or an individual quiz. But this raises questions about weighting. What is the ideal distribution of the weight of the group work and the individual component? The rule of thumb is that the weight of each component should reflect the weight of the assessed learning outcomes. At least, what you want to do, and this is overarching, is to make your expectations and performance criteria clear using rubrics and a grading scheme. And also here, regarding the distribution of the weight of the different components, you might want to involve your students to create a sense of fairness and ownership. So, to summarize, you should keep the following two things in mind. Assess the product and the process, and establish group goals and individual accountability. I want to finish this video with 5 more tips and tricks regarding group work and enhancing collaborative learning. These tips were generated from the huge amount of knowledge from academic literature and, of course, the experiences your colleagues gathered and provided online. You will find a selection of these sources in the reading following this video. Let's start. First of all, make sure that the project you developed lends itself to collaborative group work. Are there enough components to the project to necessitate multiple people working on it? If one student can successfully complete the project alone, having multiple students working on it is pointless. Group work is best suited to projects that are too large for one student to complete successfully. Second, keep groups mid-sized. A moderate size of 4 or 5 students is ideal. A smaller group might lack diversity and divergent thinking. A larger group might enhance free riding. And if you want to avoid students splitting everything in two, choose an uneven number for your group size. Third, create group roles. You can think of, for example, a coordinator, a reporter, a fact-checker, and of course, a group leader. Students will be focused on their tasks and thus work more efficiently. Maybe you might want to change roles depending on the subtasks of the group work, so each person takes different roles in one group project. Fourth, use real-world problems. Let students create a product that will actually be of use in real life. Relevance is one of the key components of student motivation, as John Keller pointed out. Finally, build trust and promote open communication. Students need to respect each other's viewpoints and contributions. Create an environment where diversity and multiplicity is welcomed and appreciated. In this open environment, you also want to provide time for debriefing. Debriefing allows students to reflect on the process. Research shows that the effect of self-reflection on personal development is just as important as the learning itself. Ask the students how teamwork helped or hindered the outcomes, and what could have been done differently to be more effective. Taking in mind all these tips, organizing, facilitating, and assessing group work should become a manageable and rewarding process for you as a teacher and as well as your students. If you have any questions or ideas, don't hesitate to post them in the discussion forum. Thanks for watching.